Hi, this video is for the yearbook staff and it's to show you how to go ahead and cut out the background. So let's get going. We're logged into Yearbook Avenue. We are going to go to the spread that we're working on. In this case, it's going to be yearbook spread. We're going to click on the spread itself. And then what I want you to do once it gets called up, I want you to go ahead and right click on the picture that you want to use. And then when you right click, you're going to see show in image library. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this picture out of Yearbook Avenue and into just a regular JPEG format, so we can go and go ahead and put it into Photoshop and cut out the background. Alright, with it highlighted right now, we want to go ahead and download it, and it will drop down here in just a minute. When it's down here, it's ready to get moved, so I'm going to click and I'm going to drag it to the folder down here, and I'm going to put it in the appropriate folder that I have already set up. Now, a couple of these steps you may not be able to do, and you may have to get an editor or myself to go ahead and do this for you. But once it's into the folder, now we can go ahead and open up Photoshop. In Photoshop, what you're going to do is to get to Photoshop, you're going to click on the button, you're going to go All Programs, and then you're going to go to Adobe Design and Web Premium, and then you're going to go ahead and you're going to click on the Photoshop and the 64-bit. All right, so we're going to open that up. Actually, before I do that, one step I forgot is let's get back to the folder that I dropped a picture, and you're going to see it's got that long letters and numbers and stuff. So I'm just going to right click it, and then I'm going to rename it. And this point I'm going to put yearbook staff, staff and number 10. Okay, so we're ready to go. Now I'm going to go ahead and minimize that and then get back to Photoshop. So I'm in Photoshop right now, and I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to Open. And then I'm going to go ahead and select, and remember that was Yearbook 10, and I just double click. And now it drops it in. At this point, first step is I'm going to go and I'm going to crop the picture. The reason why I'm cropping the picture is I don't want to cut out this whole background. So the easiest way is let's go ahead and reduce the actual picture that I'm working with. So I'm going to leave a little overlap here, not much, and pull down just directly. And again, a little overlap, not much. So what I'm doing is I'm reducing the cutout background right there. I come up here and I check it. Now I'm working with a much better thing here. I like working with this tool right here. So I'm going to click on it, and now I've got some options above. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a little bit bigger right here. The size, I'm going to go to about, well, it says 28 anywhere, and I'm going to hit a plus. Now what that's going to allow me to do is come in here and just do the outline of Amy. Just nice and easy. Every once in a while I'll take my finger off and just, again, oops, a little too much. No big deal. We can come back and take care of that. And then just try to trace it on the outside. Be careful that some of the things on the inside are going to get highlighted as well. Oops, really didn't do much there. Okay, so you can see it's on the outside. Now I'm going to go the opposite way now with a minus. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take and cut out this minus. See what it did? It just cut out some of that background right there. There we go. Nice and easy. It's a little bit better this way. And just dragging around. Don't worry about overlap right now. Obviously, we're not going to keep that, but and take the finger off, and that did a much better job. All right, now, so we've anything with those dotted lines right there, okay, that's going to be cut out. So let's go ahead and let's make this a little bigger now. So I come down to the magnifying, and it's on plus. So I'm going to magnify that, and then I'm going to start down a little lower. Again, I go down to the proper tool, which is this one. And now I'm going to get in a little tighter and see where I've got to go and make some changes. First of all, you see this right in between? We want that cut out. So we've got to make sure we go a little smaller here because we've magnified it. Okay, so we're going to go a little smaller, and we're going to make sure that we're on negative, because what that's going to cut out everything in between. Just one click and you can see it, how it's all cut out. Nice, quick, simple. Hair's always going to be the most difficult. So here, I need to expand this out. So that means that we need to change it to a plus. Okay, and I'm just going to expand this out nice and slow and see if it just can follow the contours of the hair. It picks it up itself. All right, having a problem there, so we come the opposite direction. Are you kidding? And we're frozen. So you're going to continue working around your portrait and making sure that nothing's cut out in here. And you can see how it looks pretty good right at this point. Everything seems to be exactly where we want. All right, now, so to get closer, we're going to get back to that magnifying, get a little tighter here. And then what we're going to end up doing is we want to start taking a look at this through a different filter. So let's come back to the quick selection tool. We're on that, and now look at when we go refine edge. What refine edge is going to do is it's going to go ahead and give us a look with a cutout background. So you can see all of this looks pretty good right in here. Everything looks pretty solid up in here. This is the hairs where we want to go ahead and adjust things in just a minute, but I'll show you. We can move this around to get it out of the way. Okay, slide it down. Take a look on the opposite side. This one looks pretty solid, and we're all set to go. All right, if there was anything like, for instance, right in here we wanted to adjust that, we would just say cancel, and then we would come over here back to this, and we get it nice and tight. Let's go ahead a little smaller. This is on the outside, so we want to move it in, and we could just move that in just a little bit so we get rid of that shadow that we had saw before. Okay, nothing major. Now, if you go and take a look, I usually look up top, and I'm going to put the refine edge, and we're going to see if we can feather things just a little bit. What I mean by that is take a look at the radius. Now keep an eye on our hair, and if we just click a little bit, it just fades it just a little bit. Smooth out those edges a little bit. Again, just a small little subtle thing, and then the feathered. Not too much of a feather. It just puts that little bit of shadow, and everything looks fine there. At this point, we want to say OK. And then we're going to come over to the background. We need to double click on that. And once we double click on that, it opens up another layer for us. We hit OK. From the OK, we come up here and we go to select. We come down to inverse. We hit the delete, and that cuts out everything out of the background. We come to file. We save as. Make sure that we have retitled this. If you didn't retitle it the first time, you have one more shot here. You can see it's here. And instead of a JPEG now, we're going to turn it into a PNG. And we go there, and we save it. It's now been saved back into our folder. And from there, we compress it to the smallest and slowest. And we now have a new picture, which we can then upload to Yearbook Avenue. And then once we go ahead and put it on the spread, we have a cutout background. Hopefully this has been helpful. Let me know if there's anything I can do, anything else I can do to help. Have a great day.